All right.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Hi,
Hello, Jeffrey. Thank you for joining. We're excited to have you.
my pleasure.
So we thought we could just start with you telling us a little bit about how you got into the industry and about your experience. So take it away.
Well, it started 34 years ago. Yes, so I don't know. I have to add those years up there. I was very creative in the 80s with my hair, and my hairdresser always said I would kind of coach her through what I wanted, and she said, "You should be a hairdresser," and I did. So I started 2 weeks after my 17th birthday. Back then in Missouri, you had to be 17 to go to
Oh,
beauty school.
wow.
I kind of jumped ahead a little bit and had to wait until I turned 17 to turn in my paperwork. So on my birthday, I turned in my paperwork, and then 2 weeks later, I started school, and I graduated. I was still 17 when I graduated, and I got my first job. And the lady was like, "Well, we don't normally hire anybody under 18, but okay, we'll go ahead and hire you." And she I had to lie to people and say I was 19. So I was like, "You can't tell people you're 17." And I just, I started doing hair. And for the first, 4 years, I probably, was just completely lost. Didn't, I mean, I took classes, but I didn't really feel like I truly knew hair until
Yeah.
I was doing great and, rocking it out. But I got asked to join the Aveda professional program. And we tried to do it on its first year, but we couldn't make it on the first year. But we did it on the second year. And I was 25, 26, something like
Oh,
that.
wow. Yeah.
I was very young. And
Yeah.
that's when I really truly felt like I started to learn. When I learned to teach is when I actually really truly learned.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my advice to anybody is, whether you ever actually want to teach or not, go, kind of take the stuff that, take the education, get as much of it as you can, and try somehow to teach it back to somebody, even if it's just a coworker
Yeah.
or a new hire, because you learn so much by teaching. So
Yeah.
it's always been my philosophy. Once hair color came out in Aveda in 96, 97, I jumped ship quick, and then I've taught hair color ever since, and was one of the
Yeah.
first, one of the first batches of color educators, and we were tested and examined on a hair color we had never used. So that was very
Was your first salon an Aveda salon, or did you start somewhere else and move to Aveda?
I didn't hear of Aveda until about 1990, 1991, and I started in 87. So I worked at a few mall salons working with mall salon products, and it
Yeah.
was great. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about
Yep.
volume and speed and how to justify it. You had to wrap a perm, put the processing screws on, then do a haircut, wrap another perm, and then rinse that one off, and then take care of that. So it taught me a lot about speed and juggling, whether I learned a lot about hair, other than frying it off,
Right.
um,
Right. The mall perm.
Yeah.
once I got into an Aveda salon in 1990, I would think I was 20 years old, and it really just it became a click, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with product and the concept and aromatherapy and environmentalism, and it's been a great partnership ever since.
I love it. I didn't know that you started right when the Aveda came out, when the color came out. That's amazing. So you've been there from the start and all the transitions thereafter.
All of it, yeah. And well, actually, when I started in the professional program, we had hair cutting and
Oh.
perms, and that's all I taught. And so, I learned hair cutting from Oscar Bond and Paula Ivins, and I learned perms from Catherine Hammerneck
Oh,
and
wow.
and Ted Gibson, and styling and makeup with Fatima Olive, and just like all the greats, legends.
All the fabulous people. Yeah. Are you doing any hair cutting now, or are you strictly doing hair color?
Where I work, we are dual specialists, so we do both hair and
Okay.
color. But if you were to
Mhm.
look at the benchmarks, it's 80% color to 20% cutting. And I mean, it sounds impressive to a lot of people, but it just means that only 5 ladies trust me to cut their hair.
I doubt that.
Really heavy lift.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
So what do
Okay.
you charge for, like, let's just say like a single process all over color? What's your pricing?
For new growth, it's 75.
Hmm.
And then it varies depending on length when we pull color through.
I see.
So if we do a color balance, it's based on short, medium, long, extra long.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
length is a choice. And so if if the client chooses to wear their hair longer, then they just pay extra for the color. I'm a firm believer in not charging extra colorable charges for thickness, because thickness isn't a choice.
Sure.
I appreciate that pricing model.
I know.
Thickness isn't a choice. So you can't really punish your dads on having thick hair, but length is. And so if you are, really trying to make sure that you're covering your costs with color, have a great system on your menu in place that really recognizes length. And then for foiling, the surface of the head that's foiled and the thickness of your foils, like how close together are they? Because those are choices as well. How much of the head
Yeah.
are you to put foils on? That's a choice. And how close together those foils are, that's another choice. And those are things that you can upcharge on with your service.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
just the new class called Precision Foiling that really touches base on that, making
Oh,
sure.
Yes, yeah, and that's really kind of one of the things I would love to hear about. So I have been following you on social media, and it seems like you have some new stuff going on around education. Before all of this even started, it seemed like you had a new kind of adventure, and I would love to hear about what's going on.
Well, I decided to create sort of my own educational brand called J-Scope Color, and really
Okay.
offering, still of course continuing to offer some key signature Aveda classes. That will always be my go-to and always be a heart of mine. But I also
Yeah.
wanted to be able to expand my reach and offer some brand neutral classes.
Yeah.
So
Love
really
it. Yeah.
just connecting with people in the network about the craft of color, and not so much focused on the brand from the product. The brand that I really want to grow is the hairdresser and the salon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And and it's not, I'm
Love
not
it.
knocking anything. I'm just saying like that's who I
Sure.
really want to target, and I want to grow the
Yeah.
brand stylist and the salon. And I have some classes that are sort of brand neutral, and I was really ready to launch it on April 1st.
No.
Nature threw a curveball at me, and
Right.
it's still there. It's just going to be postponed a little bit, as But the advantage is now I have time to work on more things.
Yeah.
So I really had a lot of people had been asking me about online prior to
Yeah.
the launching, and I just really hadn't made it a focus. I still love the one-to-one. I love the face-to-face.
Yeah.
I love going into the salon and feeling that energy. However, I've been able to do a lot of online training, and now I'm looking at it as a viable alternative for
Yeah.
salons. Once
Yeah.
once we start back up and we get going, they may not be able to, afford, to
Yeah.
bring a stylist in for a class and all that kind of stuff. But maybe a 2-hour online training will be a good way to get started and allow me to still, stay connected to the salons.
Yeah.
So it's been actually kind of nice. So.
I love it. And that's, one of the things, that I think, that as an educator, that is kind of hard. If you go in and you teach one class and then you don't see those people again for another year, there's a lot of myths and there's no follow-up. So it can even be supplemental. So it doesn't have to replace in person, but it could be in addition. So, here we're going to do this session, but then this is some content that you can do to support what I've taught you, so in addition.
Yeah.
I love that. That's actually one of my friends who's not a stylist but does life coaching and business coaching. She kind of suggested kind of a like a buy-in, and then it offers follow-up, touching stuff.
Yeah.
Almost like a series. So.
Exactly. I love it. And that's one of the things we've really been talking about as well. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on, how you think all of this might change the industry. I know that's kind of one thing, maybe online education, but do you see some other kind of long-term changes based on the situation that's kind of happening right now? Or?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we're a high touch industry,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't see that going away. We have to touch people. I mean, that's just reality. We have to touch people. How we do it may change a little bit. I mean, we may have to wear a mask, and we may have to wear gloves and all that. And I don't look forward to that, but we got to do what we got to do. And it's not so much about us it's about making the guests feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
always make the guests feeling comfortable. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, we have to take care of ourselves too. So there may be changes there. We'll have to see what, and we have to be open.
Yeah.
We have to be open to it. But I think, so once it broke and I started to see like there was just a flood of free online education, and there still is coming
Right.
from
Yeah.
a lot of the manufacturers. I'll be very honest with you, and I jumped on it too, and I was happy to do. I did 29 classes for free.
Oh, wow.
And I'm very happy about that. Here's my secret fear, and I'm just going to be honest and transparent.
Please. Yeah.
I fear that salons and stylists are going to get a little too used to free online education, and then it's going to be harder to call people back to the paid tickets and the all-day class and the getting. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I hope we're not, cutting off our nose to spite our face.
Right. I think that's it. Yeah.
Well,
that we have.
I think that's a really valid point, but we're not the only industry that's giving away free classes. I know the fitness industry is doing it as well, and a lot of free classes. So I'm sure everyone has that fear, but once our economy gets back to a healthy place and we all feel like things are stabilized in our personal lives, I think we all see the value in what our educators offer us and the value of our fitness classes and all that we partake in. So I think that will go back to normal as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's a way to find the balance between the two, but I don't think there's anything that's ever going to take the place of being in the presence of people and being able to see their faces light up when they grab and to be able to physically coach somebody. A lot of the balayaging that I've been teaching, I have to say to them, is it okay that I touch you? Because I move your hand and show you how don't beat the strand. It's more about a gliding and I have to physically kind of touch something a little bit. And of course I always ask permission first, but but you can't get that from online. I've done some one-on-one coaching where I was able to help people like get more.
I love it.
In the face, and I helped one girl with her balayage, and I mean there was definite improvements there for sure. So there's a value, but I don't think anything will be quite as impactful as that face-to-face, being able to like really coach to get the feel down. But we'll see.
Yeah. And I also think that, I know there'll probably be a lot of safety precautions once everybody gets back, but I think people are going to be craving that connection again. They're going to, want to, so I think customers are going to want to be in the salon again, risk or no risk. I mean, and not just about getting their hair done, but, I know there's people who have said there's so much fear around people being able to do their color at home. And, there have been products sold in stores for a bajillion years and people aren't doing their hair at home. It's not about, being able to do it at home. It's about kind of the way they feel when they go to a salon and, they spend time with their beauty professional. So, I think all of that stuff, I think people are going to be craving it. One of the things I know we were talking about free education have you been kind of utilizing that, and how have you been keeping yourself inspired? I know you're creating your own content, which, takes a lot of focus and brain power. So how have you been staying inspired during this?
Yeah, I've had to fill my cup as well because it inspires me as well.
Right.
When I watch education, it's always twofold. Of course, it's the content, like I find value in a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing, but it's also, there's some comparison. So it's not just content, it's also like watching how they present or watching what is said and all that. And there's good and there's bad. But I see value in both because, of course, seeing the good gives me great ideas and good practices to kind of pick up and, to be very honest, steal.
Borrow.
Picasso said, "Smart artists borrow from other artists, but geniuses steal."
Oh,
I love it.
But then also the reinforcement of, you know, seeing some things that are a little less than, where I'm like, okay, I'm doing pretty good, or I'm a little, I don't want to say better because it's not, and that's not what
Yeah.
it's about. It's just, I'm different. My
Yeah.
aesthetic is different and all that kind of stuff. And so it kind of reinforces my choices to be the way that I am.
How
Yeah.
would you describe your aesthetic?
Yeah, exactly. And there's no right or wrong. It's just what works for me, and then, you know, what doesn't.
I love it. So do you have any tips or things that you've learned now that you've been doing more online education? Like, what are some of the things that you've discovered through the process?
Well, you lighting, which do not judge today's lighting. I don't have it.
You have your romance lighting on now.
Exactly. I'm trying to find the Barbara Walters pre-Oscar filter for this light.
You need the ring light. Yeah.
That's what this guy is right here. Is the
Oh.
He's like so bright. I'm like, oh God. So I'm trying to.
It looks good.
Thanks there. I think that's good. Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Finding the right, you know, lighting is good. I definitely have discovered that I need to upgrade to a video camera. I think.
Oh.
The phone I think is good for like this type of thing, you know, for interaction and all that. But if I'm actually going to do something that's more like I'm going to pre-record and post it on my website or post it on YouTube or something, I think a video camera is good. And I definitely need a course on how to edit videos because I can shorten it.
That's my edit.
Yeah, learn how to shorten it down, but I don't know how to like splice videos together, like do a stop and start and then put it all in one.
It's a lot of work, a lot of patience.
I use technology to make PowerPoints and to book plane tickets and to buy shoes.
Right.
And watch Netflix and it ends there.
That's the end. What are you doing with your video content, or kind of how are you promoting yourself right now?
Right now, it's literally just through Facebook, through Instagram, and a couple of the hairdresser forums that I belong. The Aveda one is, of course, my go-to.
Yeah.
I find really great response there. But I'm also in one is We Love Hair Education, which I want to say I believe is Guy Tang sponsored.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but it's got quite a lot of hairdressers in there, and I get good response from that too.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Mostly it's been like most of the classes that I would say probably half the classes that I did were people I already had relationships with. So it was just continuing that bond. But the other half were people that I'd not met before, including a salon in the UK.
Oh, wow.
So I actually did a class for a salon in the UK outside of London. That's
amazing.
We struggled with the timing because I'm like, okay, well, you know, noon for you is like 5 a.m. for me. So
you might not get my best self.
I'm not going to be my best. Coffee won't really do so much at 5 a.m. You know? we finally found a time that worked for them, you know, and me. And so, but it was a great class. And
that's incredible.
Yeah, I got instant feedback from them, and they wanted another one. And they were like, and the owners were like, they never do that. So
right.
And, you know, it's a little, I'm not going to lie, it's a little intimidating teaching a British salon, you know, because I don't know, I always kind of view European as just a little, you know, like just a tad, I don't want to say better, or you know, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like Europe and the U.S., I mean, we definitely hold our own, but I've always kind of felt like, you know, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, you know, working in a suburb, and they're in London, you know, so, but I was happy that they were impressed and that they enjoyed it, so.
That is so incredible, Jeffrey. Congratulations. That's big.
My pleasure. So.
Yeah, that's one of the nice the parts about the online is that you can reach such a huge, broad audience. So that's truly incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And one lady has really been, I met her through the We Love Hair Education group, and I'm not sure what Latin-speaking country she's from, but she's definitely speaking Spanish. And I have given Google Translate its money's worth. so I kind of shot myself in the foot on that because I responded to her in Spanish through Google Translate, and so now
Oh.
she speaks
You're gonna have to like.
I wish I did, and I do have Duolingo, and I've been learning, but we're talking it's like kindergarten.
Hola, que pasa? That's it.
So I've been giving Google Translate a run for its money, but it's working, and she understands me, and then I translate what she says, and so it's been great. So I've really been able to reach outside of my immediate network.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Sounds like it's also pushed you out of your comfort zone a little bit too.
Much needed. Much needed.
So for those people, like what advice would you give for other hairstylists that maybe aren't educators, and maybe how should they spend their time right now? Any advice for that hairstylist that's at home?
Well, I definitely feel they need to stay active because we have a physical job. Our job is physically active. We are on our feet 8+ hours a day and working and moving. And now I bet we're not on our feet 8 minutes a day. And so it's going to hit us hard when we go back to work and have to put in, and we are going to be busy.
Yeah.
Busy. We're going to be literally looking at 10-hour days, no breaks, little lunches, or 12-hour days. We're going to have 500 customers that want to get in day one.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's just not, you're not going to be able to spread that out over 2 weeks. You're going to have to really cram people in. And we're already looking at a limited menu as to when we start back up. It's going to be a limited menu. And it's going to be a lot of, new growth, and you leave wet, new growth. And that's unfortunate, but we have to take care of the masses.
Yeah. So this is what your salon has kind of already started communicating, that's how you're going to roll out?
We haven't rolled it out to our clients yet, but we're working out a plan as to how we're going to process so that we can take care of as many people as quickly as possible.
That's
a great idea. Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but that's just, no color changes, no corrective, like literally, and you're not coming in wanting an ombre on 4 feet of hair, we're literally going to be doing touch-ups for highlights and new growth, and then haircuts. And if you're getting a touch-up and a haircut, that's good. We'll blow you dry. But if you're just getting a touch-up, you're getting shampooed in a ponytail, and you can go blow dry.
That makes sense.
You can go blow dry at home, but because we offer complimentary finishes with our color, but that's a 30-45 minute time that we're going to need that time to take care of everybody.
No, it makes total sense.
It's unfortunate, but
but it's temporary.
It's temporary, exactly. While everybody's taken care of as best and as quick as we can.
And I think people are going to be so desperate for that retouch, they don't even care. Like at this point, and people are going to be, to your point, like a little scared still. So getting in and out as quickly as possible for them right now, or as soon as we get back, I think it's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's literally going to be, if you want to blow dry, you're getting a haircut because that'll include the blow dry, but if you want to, or you can pay for a shampoo style, but we're really going to try to discourage that as much as we can because we really want people to be able to get taken care of on an immediate basis. And a blow dry is beautiful, but it's superficial compared to having to actually
exactly. Having your natural highlights not showing is critical. How have you been able to kind of stay on track through this, keeping active and staying what seems to be so motivated by teaching and all of that?
That was the main reason why I did like the 29 classes over the 2 weeks, was it kept me regimented. So I was doing like 3 or 4 a day, and I was booking them in my calendar like a work day. And so and I had to also put fitness in there too. So I made sure to do an hour or an hour and a half of working out, and then also some walking, and just as best as I could. But last night I couldn't go for a long walk, so I walked in my parking deck. So literally, I live on the top. So the top parking deck is exposed to the outside, and I literally did 50 laps.
Nice. Yeah. So just keep moving. How are things in Georgia? Like, is it stay at home? It's so crazy to me that every state is so different and what they're doing kind of during this.
Yeah, I don't think we're definitely not the hot zone like some of the other places are, but we are affected at all, and our governor did put us at a stay-at-home until April 30th, potentially
Okay.
longer. So we'll definitely be out of the salon till at least April 30th.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic, but also realistic. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. But
Yeah.
basically everything else is okay. You know, I mean, I just drove to the UPS store to ship out some, of my sprays that I make, and there were people out. You know, it wasn't like
Yeah.
it wasn't zombie apocalypse.
It feels, yeah, it sometimes feels a little bit weird when you go out and there's nobody about.
You know, but there's
Yeah.
life is going on. So
Yeah. What kind of sprays are you making? I feel like I kind of know about this. Is it like some combination of?
it is.
Yeah.
You know, when you don't have hair, like I don't get to play with all the hair stuff. So the body products really speak to me, and aromas and all that. I love that. That's my go-to. And
Right.
I started playing with making my own. It's not that I don't love Aveda's current offering for men, but or unisexual, I should say, but they're nice and limited. So
Yep.
I feel like I just kind of ventured out and making my own.
I
And
love it.
yeah, I've always tried to use the Aveda products to make it with the Aveda spirit base, the perfume base,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and the oils and the singular notes and all that. So unfortunately, there's so many have been discontinued. So I found the
Oh.
perfect blend of lavender, sandalwood, frankincense, patchouli, tea tree, and rosemary, and it's the perfect blend.
Yum.
It's
That's
amazing.
that's amazing. Yeah.
It was finally the one where I nailed it, where I started to get comments from people. Before, so every now and then somebody, but this was like 8, 9, 10 people would be like, "What are you wearing? That smells amazing." So that's what, like, okay, this is a good one.
Taste
So
tested.
that became, and I just made it for myself. And then I guess it was 3 years ago, we had an Earth Month event where my coworker made bath bombs and bath salts, and I was like, I could do that. So I made the Earth Aroma to sell to people, and it was huge. And so I've just been offering it, and sadly I have to source from wherever I can get the sources. But
Yeah.
I happily use
Yeah.
and do when it's available. But
Yeah.
because I need that particular aroma,
Yeah.
I make it, and I use a perfume base, and then I blend the essential oils that are all organic, and it smells amazing. And
I love it.
I love it. I ship it out, and I make it in my bathroom, so it's handmade.
Handmade with love.
I hand pour everything, so it's all just it's just really nice, and I love it. So
I love it.
back ordered on the bottles for a minute.
They're hampering your production.
They did. Well, they were force filling essential orders, and
Yeah.
spray bottles was not deemed an essential.
Yeah, it wasn't on the list.
But they arrived yesterday. Yeah, they arrived yesterday, so I'm back in
Nice.
Yay.
Back in production. I'm having visuals of you in your bathroom with a little apron mixing some oils up.
I know. I need to get some of those little glasses so that I'm like, I'm like, I don't need them, but it adds to the look, of the magic.
Right.
Boring.
I love it. Tell us about the content that you've created. Tell us about the classes that you're teaching, your own stuff. I'd love to hear about what you're doing.
Yeah, so I have some Aveda specific classes that are formula based. So creative formulations and in the mix. Creative formulations is just really just fun with mixing and just having fun with being creative and some troubleshooting. And then in the mix is also a creative formulation class, but really focusing specifically on the issues with blondes, reds, and gray. So, and we've had, if you've been with Aveda for years, we used to have creating great reds, and we had guidelines or disciplines of gray coverage. I don't remember what that class was called. And then blonde rituals. So they were all separate classes. So I just kind of combined the best practices for one class so that you have a better bang for your buck. And that's a really good one too. And
Love
it. Those two are Aveda specific. And then my class Technique versus Placement, which I've taught for many years, is just sort of a fun way to throw in some quick fun placements of color and focusing on the technique and not so much on the placement, but we talk about both. And then precision foiling is really more about streamlining your foils and being, very democratic in your pricing and your placement, and just some quick placements. And then how to make more of those perfect foils, really getting your foils to look neater, cleaner, increase your speed a little bit.
I love it.
Yeah, it's not so much about precision foiling isn't really about rocket science. It's foiling 101, but just maybe the placements are a little simpler and a little quicker, and then we have the pricing factor that goes into how do you charge for what you're doing. And the fourth dimensions, which always confuses people because they think it's time travel. It's not time travel. I call it the fourth dimensions, and I've amended the name a little bit where it's blonding techniques. So it's really just doing 4 different techniques in a quadrant, so 4 dimensions, and then
gotcha.
and it's 2 of them are balayage, one's more of a melted ombre-ish effect, and then another one is more of the slicing technique, which was what I showed on the Aveda Artist the other day. And then we practice with conditioner, and then we switch to one of them or a blend of the 2, and then we use real product on it. So those can all be, and then there's a few other classes too, like modern.
Right.
I have a new one. I haven't rolled it out yet, but I've done it a few times. But I'm finishing up the final touches on it. But it's called the Art of Training.
Oh, I love it.
To train the trainer. So it's about, it's kind of like the best of some of the presentation classes we've had over the years,
that's genius.
A lot of it have kind of gone away though, like season preparation and the learning garden, and then other things that I picked up through the years about, how to create a lesson plan, how to do the right visuals, how to make a PowerPoint, how to present,
right.
How to develop your activities, things like that, and putting it into one class. So it would be perfect for salons that are developing their in-salon training.
Yeah.
Also for people who want to become educators, they want to go and become educators, but maybe there is, one of the training courses isn't being offered, or they can't afford it, so I'm looking at putting that one, and I think that one I might be able to actually do online. So.
Yeah, I think that would, be an incredible kind of online course. And then, there could be supplemental coaching or, in-person stuff if needed. Yeah, that's incredible. How do people book with you? Is it best to find you on social media? Like, how can they schedule some classes with you?
People can just reach out to me via Facebook, Instagram, or you can text me, you can email me. Any of those are all relatively pretty much the same.
Okay.
Salons can choose to book directly with me if they'd like, and then how I've done the pricing is the same as what it would be through Aveda.
Okay.
If a salon wants to go through Aveda, that's fine. If they want to utilize their reward points and all that, that's fine. They can do that. Or if they say, we'll save that for something else, we're going to book directly with you, then they book, and I book the travel and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and then hopefully I have a few in June that I'm going to have to touch base with them.
Oh, so you're supposed to travel for it?
Are we still good? I haven't booked any travel for yet, no, but
yeah. Are they far from you? Is it a big distance?
One's in Florida and one's in Austin, Texas. So
yeah.
I haven't touched base with them yet because I'm kind of just taking it month by month. But all of May have been canceled, so we'll see. But I just thought I would offer that if a salon wants to book me and they're like there's a small deposit and then the rest just pay day of, and then I book the traffic so that a salon doesn't have to worry about it, because then
perfect.
It used to be like if the salon goes directly to me, normally they were buying the plane tickets and it's just a hassle, and so I'll do it for you. Okay, let me take care of it. I'll get myself there. All you got to do is wrangle your troops.
Exactly.
That's into itself. So
exactly. 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 Jen, do you have any kind of other questions you can think of for Jeffrey?
I think we just have our one last question. Is that it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we want you to share your Instagram handle with us, and so people can find you easily. But leave us with this. What are the top 3 products that you had to get before you went into quarantine?
Well, my Instagram handle is JScoColor.
Okay.
With the letter J, JSco Color, all one.
Got it.
And Jeffrey Scott Color, so JSco Color kind of condensed. And then, love it. And the 3 products that, well, as you know, I'm not a hair person. But believe it or not, I do have Satin Moss shampoo. But I had to have candles. So I love burning candles. So I got the Shampure candles for home, and then I have some lavender oil, which I absolutely just adore.
Yeah.
And, hydrating lotion. Yeah.
Oh. Gotta keep your youthful glow.
Yes.
The illusion of it, anyways. So.
It's all about that good lighting and the hydrating lotion.
So Shampure candles, lavender essential oil, and then or what is it called now? Base Plus oil. Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The lavender base plus oil, and then the hydrating lotion. I got the big bottle.
Yeah. I have that too.
What about non-product must-haves? That's what I'm dying to know. What did you have to stock up on to get through quarantine? And don't say toilet paper.
No, I didn't need. I was like, need it. I was like, I have it already. You know,
so crazy, right? Yeah.
People going crazy, you know. So no, I was already good there, you know.
Good.
I bought 2 big things of coffee.
I was thinking about you in the Starbucks. Like, oh my goodness, I know you're a big Starbucks lover.
I had to scale back on that, obviously. I still have it every now and then, but no, I just stocked up. And I just do Folgers at my house. I know, don't tell Starbucks, but just do Folgers at my house, and then I just bought the big containers of it, and I have a few of those, and coffee filters, and
Cheetos. Coffees and Cheetos, you're good for the time being.
Not good together.
That's what I was thinking. It sounds like a pretty gross combination. Yeah. Orange fingers holding your Folgers.
Yeah.
But Jeffrey, I personally just want to say thank you so much. I think you're doing incredible stuff during this time and helping keep everyone inspired and educated. And so I'm super happy that you could join us today. Excited for your new adventures. But yeah, we will definitely keep in touch and we'll share this with, the people on ours and, on social media as well. But thank you so much for your time today.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.